Hey guys, I am just gonna break down this strat. So if we come to the outcome, I just got finished marking off all the positions that I would take and what the outcome would be. And I'm gonna go through a few notable days just to give you an idea of how this works. And yeah, so this isn't financial advice. If you take these trades, um, please don't come blame me. If they lose, they can lose. Right now, just based on a small sample set, it's got about a 66% win rate overall. And for the first trade of the day, if you see the entry after open at 9:30, it's got a 75% win rate. That's just based on a 29-day sample set for 2024. So every year, I'm sure the market might move different depending on sentiment or manipulation that's happening. Who knows? So just to keep that in mind. But let's go to the first date. Let's just do 3 days here. And the first date will be May 7th. And I got all these days as suggestions from people that follow me on X and also in my free Discord group. So join that if you have any questions. I post the levels there every day and kind of give feedback on how you guys can improve your own levels so you can place them on your charts because it is really easy to do. And I'd like you guys to be able to do it so you can also kind of see good levels to enter and take profit and where price might go for the day or where price might not go because typically doesn't go far beyond the third zone on most days on these fib levels. So all right, so May 7th, let's go here. So on May 7th we will um, move forward. Actually, here we have May 7th. This is the overnight action, and I kept my initial condition from my back testing just so I don't have to rethink about that. Now, in this strat, we're not going to take any trades before 9:30. And if price opens up near zone 2, then we're going to be looking for entries at the bottom of zone 2. Or if price comes up to the bottom of zone -1, then we can take that as well as our initial entry. But if price opens at the top of zone 2, we are not going to enter there. We would only enter at the top of zone 2 if price comes down to zone -2 from around from above the zone -2 level, or if price starts off at the -1 level. All right, so no trades before 9:30. The trades all happen from either zone 1, zone -1, or zone 2, or zone -2. And it happens at the bottom of zone -1. That's your first entry. And the top of zone -2. And if you do take a -2 or 2 entry, you can cut all your position green at the next one zone, or that's optional. So if you feel like, hey, price is going against me, I don't really feel confident in my bias on this trade, you can cut green if you add at, or basically you dollar cost average at the 2 zone, and then you can cut green on your full position back at 1. Or you could take profit there and then look for the normal take profits, which are, so if you enter at the bottom of zone 1 or -1, then your first take profit is the top of the zone and then the initial condition, and then you're done. If you really want to get fancy, you can keep runners, but keeping runners is not part of this strategy. This is more like a scalp, take profit, and get out strategy. Okay, so let's wait till 9:30. This is our 9:30 open. Okay, we're going to progress till we get to open. Okay, look, so we're going to open near 1. Okay, so on this one, I did make a note. This one's special because I want to show you that entry ideas if we're kind of beyond the first zone and we're not starting in the middle of the day. So I'm going to delete that. So let's carry on till 9:30. Okay, now I don't have my 9:30. Okay, 9:30 is the next candle. Okay, cool. So 9:30 is the next candle. We open here. Okay, so if we're opening near zone two, we do not want to enter at zone two. We want to enter the basically bottom or top of zone two. So our first entry would be a short here. Now enter small because your stop loss is going to be kind of big. So possibly our stop loss is zone three at this point. And so from here, you could take profit at the top of zone two or one. I mean, ultimately, you want to get to the initial condition and just kind of manage your trade as you wish. Okay, so we're here at the end of this candle. Let's see what we do. Okay, so we could have taken profit there. Okay, we can take profit here. We got back to the bottom of zone two. Potentially that can be a re-entry. So if you evaluate and kind of backtest on your own, you can kind of see opportunities where you can take profit and re-enter at the same opening position. Okay, and then this is an example. You could have taken profit at the top of zone two and re-entered at the or sorry, at the bottom of zone two and re-entered at the top of zone two. Okay, and now we got our full position. So that's the full take profit. And now our trade is done. Now, alternatively, once again, you can continue. Look at this. So it got to initial condition, came back to basically, this is the default first entry at the top of zone one or negative one. So we can go short again. And in my testing, that's what I did every time. So every time we come back to negative one, we go ahead and go enter. Now, if we're flat and we're not getting in the bottom of zone two, our new stop loss is the top of zone two. And our add is at the bottom of zone two. So let's keep going. Okay, we did not get an add opportunity, but we're close to our full take profit. Our first initial take profit is the bottom of zone one. So you should maybe enter 3 contracts at that first one, maybe 2 at the next one. You can close all for green here if you're nervous of your trade, or you can take partial profit from your zone 2 entry here and then continue here and then initial condition. Okay. Once again, we get back to the initial condition. So we took full profit. Now our trade is closed. So that's two shorts successful. All right, now on this date, actually there were 10 trades and all but one were profitable. The next trade is not profitable. Let me show you. Yeah, from what I notated down. So here we go. Here's our. It did come back here, and let's see if we got profitable. That kind of was profitable. I mean, I'm not sure how this candle is painted, but it looked like it came here and came here. So that is kind of profitable. But let me show you an L trade here. Okay. So that is a re-entry profit. So that short, again, you got to your full profit position. So basically you're a baller at the end of this day. You could be done for the day. You could have passed an eval with that easily. But I did notate a failed trade, and it might be here. Okay, so here's our reentry, right? At the bottom of, or the top of zone one. Okay, we added here, but watch, it's going to go beyond here, and that's an L. Boom, that's an L. So that hit your stop loss. You have 3 wins on this day, and 1 L. Okay. But then if you do test the rest of this day, there were 6 more wins. And that's unusual. Typically, this strategy will give you about, no entries or on average 2 entries per day, maybe 3, 4. But this date gave you 10. Let me go to my last example. This one also has a losing trade. So let's go to May 14th. And we'll jump to 8 a.m. So again, at about 8 a.m., you determine what's your initial condition. And I have another video based on how to get the initial condition. These are the Feigenbaum Fibonacci's. I didn't invent them. They're invented by a dude on X who actually I think he deleted his X account. So I guess I might be the main source of information on these. I've been using them for about a year now, and they're awesome. Okay, here's our initial condition. Let's mark out 9:30. Okay, that's our open. We're not going to do anything to open. Look at that. Check that out. It got down to zone 3. This is zone 3. So I mark out every other space as a zone. That's -3. And we'll put in 2 to show you. So if we're opening up at -3, you're not going to do anything. That's kind of like the move for the day, typically. Days typically only go to -3 or 3, depending on what news events there are. Sometimes you'll get to zone 4 or -4, but that's really rare. That's like less than 5% of the days. Okay, so we're opening at around 1. Okay, so that's cool. So that means that if we open and we touch -1, that's going to be our first entry. Okay. Looks like we're not at -1 yet. Close to +1. So again, we're not entering here at the bottom of +1. We're entering here at the top of +1. And I came up with this strategy just based on because I've been seeing these levels every day and seeing how price plays. Typical bullish days only go to zone -1, and the best entries on bullish days, if it offers it, is at the bottom of -1. Of course, you can't predict like when is a bullish day going to happen. Actually, today was a bullish day on NQ and ES, and NQ did offer the bottom of -1. ES did not. There's a whole different kind of strategy depending on trend continuation. So really use these levels as support and resistance and get familiar with them, and you'll kind of notice what you can do for trend continuation. All right. No trades yet except for right now. That is our first short. Doesn't look good, right? But I already tested this day. It's going to be a W. You'll get nervous. It'll come to zone 2. But again, I guess that's the beauty part of back testing is to know how often it works and if it's going to be profitable. One thing I don't totally like is maybe you have to work on the amount of contracts to make this most profitable because your stop loss is going to be here at 2. So look, this is like a less than 1-to-1, right? But just based on how often 2 is not breached, that's what makes this profitable. And so again, 75% of the time, just out of the 29 days tested, the first trade of the day is a winner. And overall, if you take all the trades, you sit there all day, it's going to basically be about 66% winner. Okay. So do the math on that if you think this is going to be a profitable strategy, and do your own back testing too. Okay. Okay. Boom. We got a -2 entry, and we got nervous, right? You're like 3 points away from taking an L. Okay. So again, we're here. We're here. It's up to you if you have a hard stop loss or if you kind of want to see for wicks. That might alleviate some of the losses, or it might kind of increase the loss depending on the day. Some days will shoot up, come back down, or shoot up to negative or +3. So be careful with that. Okay, so again, we didn't hit the stop loss. We got to 2 on this candle, and then boom, you're full profit, and it got way down. Okay. Again, the strategy, we're not thinking about runners at all, but if you feel like you got the right bias, that's up to you. So it got to the bottom of the initial condition. So let's just mark that. And again, check my other video if you want to know more about Feigenbaum fibs. All right, so boom, we got another entry here. This is going to get a little messy. Okay, again, our stop loss at the top of 2. Okay, we got an ad. again, this add, up to you if you want to close out all green if it comes back to the one, or you can take partials here and then add more partials below it. Okay, again, it did not hit the stop loss. You got your partial profit now at the top of zone one. Now you're getting close. Yep, you got your second partial and you got your full position right there at the initial condition. So right now we're reset. If we come back to one, we're going to re-add. So I guess we got two short winners already. I'll make these narrower just so we can kind of see the next trade, because I think the next trade is a short. Okay, the next trade is a short. It's at 1 p.m. So basically, you're going to stop doing this at 4 p.m. And it's up to you. So again, first trade of the day is the statistical winner. You could be done for the day after that. And here we go. We hit, yes, we hit zone two. So we're re-adding again. So not a lot of days offer the zone two add. I mean, if you think about it, this day is kind of bullish, right? So, just one hint on these zones. Bullish days, typically initial condition can act as a breaker. As you see, you have long entries from here, long, long, long scalps. So a whole different strategy could be following bias and, buying the initial condition, taking profit at one, keeping runners to above. And sometimes you can get all the way to zone three. But this day would have provided a lot of long entries. Basically, we're going against trend. So add your bias to this strategy, and either, do it blindly or don't do it. Again, not financial advice, but, oh, that is an L right there. So this day, yep, I forgot to mark that, or I kind of forgot that right now, but I do have that notated on my, on the backtesting, that the fourth position was an L. So the L can kind of be big, right? So the L's not fun. You entered here. It did not come back to the top of zone one. Now, also another idea of this is once you get to the top of zone one, you can put your position with a green break even, or a higher up your stop loss. So just in case you want to keep your trade a winner and not have it go against you, you can do that too. So if you hit your first take profit and you want to wait for the initial condition or break even, you can change your stop loss that time. So that's it. If you have any questions, send me comments. I've got a open Discord group where you can ask questions and see my level alerts in the morning. Just check the bio on my Twitter profile or on my X profile. All right. Thanks for watching.